Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to Heavy Tones. I'm Gary Hebner, and welcome to this channel that focuses on low-tuned, high-gain guitars. In this video, we're going to take a look at ML Sound Lab's new amped Burger. Now, if you take a look at the interface, you'll probably recognize what it's modeled after. If you don't, it's modeled after two Bogner amps. It's the Uberschall and then the Twin Jet. Now, I really don't know much about Bogner amps. I haven't used one myself, but I've read up about them and checked other artists use them and listened to some sound samples. And basically, it's a boutique amp company by a German named Reinhold Bogner, something like that, and he moved to the States. So there's a sort of big, strong comparison of him going from Europe across to America and sort of challenging some of the American brands. If you want to hear the full mix, you can skip to the end. I'll leave a timestamp in the description and you can just click there and skip right along. Now, what I want to do in this video is sort of get an idea of what this amp and its tone is about. I'm not obviously going to be comparing it to a Bogner because I don't have a Bogner to compare it to, but with this amp sim, I'm going to take it and compare it to some of ML Sound Lab's other amp sims so we can get an idea of the tone. One way of sort of characterizing an amp tone is it more American sounding or is it more British sounding? For example, does it sound like a Marshall or does it sound more like a Mesa? Or is it somewhere in between? Now that's what we're going to sort of explore in this video. I'm going to compare it to the ML800, which is modeled after a JCM 800, giving that British tone, and then the ML5, which is modeled after a Mesa Mach V, which is more of American tone. And then we'll take a listen to the two Burger amps and get an idea of what this tone is all about. But before we're jumping into that, let me just punt a few things. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I'd highly appreciate it. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up, leave some comments on what you thought of the video or comments on what you'd like to see further in this channel, and also don't forget to click on that notification bell to be notified of future videos. With that out of the way, let's check out the tone. For this video, I'm going to be using my PRS Mic Mushok Baritone, and it's tuned down to an alternative drop F-sharp tuning. Now I've heard that these Bogner amps favor down-tuned high-gain sounds, so let's really put it to the test. Jumping into my software, starting off, let's take a listen first to the ML800 to get an idea of that sort of British Marshall sound. Now going over to the ML5, which is the Mesa tone. Cool, so you've got an idea of those two tones now. Now let's check out the Burger. Starting off first with the Burger lead, which is modeled after the Uberschall. I've noticed that the sound has quite a sort of fuzzy tone to it. And what works with sort of fuzz tone is to slow down the tempo and play a bit more of a sludgier sort of doomy vibe. Let's try that out. Let's check out the double Burger, which is the Twin Jet. So there's a sort of two amp tones for you. I'm not going to go too deep into the user interface and tweaking the parameters. You can check out Mikko's playthrough where he goes through and walks you through the amps and what you can do with them. For now, I just want to give an example of this amp, or these two amps, in a full mix with a sort of sludgier, sort of doomy vibe. So let's check it out in a full mix. I'll catch you after the video. Okay, so that was the amp burger. What'd you think of it? Like I said in the beginning, I think from it, there's that sort of fuzzy tone and it's sort of pushed in the high mids, and it lends itself more towards some sort of slower down tempo, down tuned tracks and riffs. That's why I sort of went with a sort of sludgy doom riff for the playthrough, but that was just my idea. You could really probably use this for other things as well, sort of like some more modern metal high gain riffing. But for me, what inspiration came first was the sort of slower, fuzzier tones. That's my sort of takeaway with this amp. It really does have its own sort of character compared to some of the other ML SoundLab products. And like you saw, we sort of compared it to a more classic British tone and then a classic American tone. And it sort of sits somewhere in between. So let me know what you thought of this amp. I'll leave a link to it in the description. If you want, you can try it out. There is a sort of free trial where you can play it, and every 30 seconds there's a bit of noise that gets burst in, but you can still play around with it and get an idea of the tone. So please leave comments on what you thought of this video, what you thought the amp sounded like compared to some other tones, and also if you're not already, please subscribe to the channel and click on that notification bell to be notified of future videos. I'll catch you in the next one.